G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for another Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls Legendary Crafting and Farming Guide. In this video, I'm going to be going over how to farm the materials for and craft the Captain's Crimson set. Now, the Captain Crimson set is quite decent. It's a very nice stepping stone set into other legendaries, and especially for the Demon Hunter, I feel it's actually a very solid set. I was able to replace, 3 of my other legendaries essentially with this without any real drawback, especially because the belt, pants, and boots, they don't have really that crazy legendaries in those slots. Like, you don't have to sacrifice something like a Cinder Coat or something like that to get them. They can roll pretty decent stats, higher than rares obviously, and the set bonuses are very nice. Reduce cooldown of skills by 10% on the 2 set bonus, in addition to some regen, which is kind of just meh for me, but regen may be useful for your build. And then the 3 set bonus has 50 ore resist, which is quite decent, and reduced resource cost by 10%. And this is the big winner for a Demon Hunter. Getting that resource cost reduction means you can spare more cluster arrows and continue making builds that don't have hatred generators and things like that. So it's a very nice, solid, all-round set to craft, and it's very quick. I actually crafted this today, just after the patch went live that buffed the drop chance of the set item. Sorry, the crafting material items, the legendary crafting material. And I crafted it in about 2 hours, all 3 of these items in about 2 hours, under 2 hours. So it's really not that hard to do. Though it can take a little bit of time to get the materials if you're a bit unlucky, but it's something you can do in a day basically. Get yourself some really nice gear, so I highly recommend it. Now, just as a side note, guys, the crafting plan, the actual recipe for this and many of the other legendaries seems to be just random world drops. This just means you want to be farming rare, so you just want to be killing random things in the world, basically. There's no specific way to farm for these plans. So if you're watching this video, I assume you've already found the plan. There's no real way to farm for it if you want this item. It's just something you're eventually and hopefully going to get, because this is a pretty nice set, but you have to, it really hinges on actually getting that plan first. The only one that I've found that actually has a specific drop location is Reaper's Wraps. But if you guys find any information about these set and legendary plans and whether there's any specific ways to drop them, do let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure, guys, that these are just random world drops, so you're just gonna have to do normal generic farming to be able to find them. So, let's first talk about the actual legendary affix, the legendary item you need, the Essence of the Twin Seas. Now, this drops in 2 different places. One is pretty common, the other one's quite rare, but it's worth checking both because that's just kind of, I guess doubling your chances of getting it, essentially. But what you're going to be doing is looking in Act 2, and you're going to be checking the Howling Plateau. Now, there's one quest in here, it's kill Razormouth, and he is a purple unique mob, kind of like one of these sand shark mobs, and it's a pretty rare bounty. It doesn't spawn all the time. I think in about 20 to 25 runs that I've done, he spawned once. So it's pretty rare, but I may just be getting unlucky as well. But every time you just start a new game, just check this one. If Razormouth spawns, then you just simply follow the quest marker to the bounty, kill him, and there's a decent amount of chance that you're going to be getting it. Now, you should be doing this on the highest difficulty you can reliably do it. I'm doing this on Torment 3. I usually farm on Torment 1 or 2. It's generally pretty easy to kill these guys specifically, and you can avoid most of the other mobs and just kill these guys for this material. So do it on a high difficulty. We've seen that the difficulty increases the drop chance of these legendary crafting materials now, so doing it on Torment or Torment 3 or something like that is well worth doing. It's well worth spending like a minute extra killing them or something like that. So try and do it on the highest difficulty you can. Now, the second one, which is more reliable, because this one, as I said, doesn't spawn very often. The second one, which is more reliable, is to go to City of Caldeum, just down in here. Then what you're going to be doing is going straight into the sewers of Caldeum here, and you want to search this entire zone. Now, I've already cleared this one, and I actually found this one just here, the Essence of Twin Seas, in this actual instance here. So I can kind of show you what I did essentially, and then I'll cut to a bit of footage I recorded earlier of me actually finding the guy. But basically what you want to do is just use whatever movement skills you have, get around here nice and quick, open chests on the way, because if you're playing on a high difficulty, it's actually a pretty decent legendary drop chance of doing this. In 2 hours of doing this earlier to farm this material, I actually found 3 legendaries from chests. So it's worth checking those guys. Now what you want to do is check each of these end zones, and I believe it was actually this zone if I remember correctly. It might not, maybe it was actually probably further down this way. But basically he'll spawn at a random one of these ends, but you won't see him initially. I think he spawned down here. So what will actually happen is you'll get to the end of one of these little sort of wings here, so you want to check each one of them, and there'll be a big pile of rubble kind of blocking off the end section. When you get close to it or when you damage it, he after a few seconds he'll pop out. Now I've actually activated him a few times and left without realizing he was there, so you want to hang around until he spawns. So I'll cut to a bit of footage just now of him spawning so you guys can see what he looks like. His name is Moontooth something or other, and he's just another one of those sand sharks, and he only spawns from that rubble. So simply, what you want to do is run through these, poke into each of the end sections, open those chests on the way. When he spawns, kill him on the highest difficulty you can, and hope to get the legendary crafting material. Now obviously you're going to need the legendary crafting material, Forgotten Souls. The best way to get that is doing rifts on a decent difficulty, like doing rifts. I'm not sure, I feel like the difficulty does correlate to it, but I haven't seen any hard evidence for that yet. But basically doing rifts, the end rift boss will often drop Forgotten Souls. Otherwise, just doing normal legendary farming and salvaging your crappy legendaries for those will give you the Forgotten Souls to get those. There's something generally you just have to deal with when crafting any sort of set. But the other thing we really need, Marquise Diamonds is really a non-issue. Like, you should be picking these up just as you go. So that's a non-issue. But the other thing you really need is this armor. So, I'm tempted to try and craft like a better version of my belt maybe. Then I need to go get another Archon Sash. Now the best way to do this, and I've covered this in a previous video, but I'll cover it again here for you guys, is to go to Act 5 West March and the Battlefields of Eternity. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to just simply be equipping our movement skills again. So you can change your build to be a bit faster if you want, so I'm going to equip Tactical Advantage just here. Then you're going to be sort of running around this zone as quickly as possible, looking for these decaying armors. Now, there's a lot of these piles in here. I've got some Ascended Gauntlets just there. We're looking, we're looking for the belt specifically, but I can check each one of these. I can check the chests as well. You can do this on a low difficulty if you want. You can do this on normal if you're finding it a bit hard. There's some Ascended Greaves. You'll see I find a lot of these really quickly. Another Decaying Armor, Ascended Folds, and I just have to keep going basically until I find a belt. There's another one, another pair of Ascended Greaves. I'll stash these, keep them for later. You may want to craft another item with these in the future, so it's a good idea to keep a few of each. Another Decaying Armor. There we go, Archon Sash. I think that's the one we want, actually. I think that's the one we want. So, let's head on back. Now, just take note that currently inferior or superior versions of these items don't work in the crafting recipes. So you need just the basic one. If you get like superior Ascended Gauntlets or something like that, or fine Ascended Gauntlets, they actually won't work. But now, let's check it out. There we go, Captain Crimson Silk Girdle. Pretty quick, pretty easy stuff. And let's go ahead and craft it here. See how we go. And all resist, armor, dexterity, evasive fire. Not a bad belt actually. This might be a potential upgrade for me. I could easily reroll the evasive fire into vitality or percent life or something like that. So not bad. And it's got some gold fine pickup radius. Not a bad extra belt there. So anyway, hopefully that helps you guys out. If you're having trouble with this, just spend a little bit of time, and it's not going to take too long. As I said, I did it in about 2 hours. If you don't get them on the first run, obviously you're just going to reset the game, simply leave the game and remake, and then check if the quest is there to kill Razormouth, and if not, just go straight into the sewers and look for that other guy as well. And hopefully you'll be able to get your Captain's Crimson set in short order. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.